ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Racer Nexus Network as you return along with us for the ride here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, opened back in 1962. This nearly 2.3 mile clockwise directional 13-turn circuit is the home of week 4 out of 12 for Apex this GT4 Tuesdays. Hello everybody, it's Alex Goldschmidt in the booth, and alongside me, not just on colour commentary, but the man producing the show that you see in glorious sound and vision. A very, very good evening to my good buddy. Hello and welcome back in, Mr. Chris Murphy. We keep on bumping into each other every single time, don't we?
I know, everybody's talking about us, we're just hanging out too much, like we were talking before the show. And last night we got to witness a race in the rain in Portimao, and here we are again in the rain in Mid-Ohio. Surely did not expect this tonight.
I think it's because me being a Brit, they say that the Brits bring the bad weather. Well, hopefully our drivers, well, they knew that at some point there could be rain, dynamic weather, but more to the point, we are nearly into the second half of the 10 minutes qualifying session ahead of a 45-minute encounter, which will mean that there will need to be a pit stop for everybody because of the fuel limitation. But let's give you a little reminder of things as they stand. Here's the calendar as we are as of right now. We're on week 4, January 6th, which is Mid-Ohio. Next week we go to Spa-Francorchamps, then Sebring, Long Beach, Mosport, VIR, WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca, Mount Panorama, and then the final round on the calendar, March the 3rd, America's National Park of Speed, Road America. Of course, there are 2 classes in the Apex this GT4 Tuesdays League, and we have the pros, and of course we have the MPLs, aka the mid-pack Larrys. After 3 rounds, Brian Lemke leads the way on 61 points ahead of Brian Zinn. DJ Alessandrini rounds out your top 3 ahead of Derek Tyndall, Russell Abraham. Then we've got Roman Bykov, Kent Kruger, Michael Brock, Oz Escalou and Kelly Greenhoe rounding out your top 10 in the pros. Then we turn our attention to our mid-pack Larrys, and this is where we have a great amount of talent in there as well. Carl Mavis leads the way on 56 points, 12 ahead of Sean Teeter. Ryan Ryder rounds out your top 3 on 39 points. Then it's 35 points for 4th place Matthew Brent, 34 points for Dan Carrillo and James Dean, who round out the top 6. Harrison Mealy on 21 points, tied with Rob Phelan, who rounds out the top 8. Hoover Hale and Aaron Lahr round out your top 10. Now, the thing is, with the Apex this GT4 Tuesdays League, we have 1 race a week. It's 45 minutes per race. It's arrive and drive, so it's a fixed setup. Everyone's in the same boat. There is multiple opportunities to change your car. Weather variable, rain possible, as per the Apex This.Racing website, /Tuesday. And more to the point, the only assist that you're allowed, clutch assist in these cars. But more to the point here, Chris, we're 3 weeks in. DJ Alessandrini once again has gotten a victory and scarpered again, because for all of this, I think it's 4 drop weeks that we have at the moment for this series out to the 12. But it gives the opportunity that, you know, some people might be indisposed elsewhere. They might have real life commitments. But it does mean that we do get to see quite a lot of wonderful GT4 machinery as always.
Yeah, DJ showed up 2 weeks out of the 4 now, and the 2 weeks he was here, he pretty much put a butt spanking on the field last week. Just kind of ran away with it, and see who can put it out here tonight. Mid-Ohio, pretty much a rhythm track. Once you get down that, what I like to call the back straightaway down up into turn number 4, once you start into turn 4 at Mid-Ohio, all the way around through turn 16, it is all about rhythm. How much speed can you carry through those corners? There is 12 corners all in one half of the racetrack here, so it is going to be exciting here. And not to mention with this, with this weather coming down, it looks like we got quite a bit of rain starting to build up on the racetrack. We'll see just how much these puddles on the track are going to affect the drivers.
So you just said that so we're talking about so you're talking about, are we on the original road course here at Mid-Ohio, which is 15 corners, is that right?
Yes, that's what I'm looking at.
That's what you're looking at, because I've got no track map to speak of, and I can't see where the cars are out on the circuit. on the feed that everyone's being shown at home. But that particular circuit, 2.4 miles and 15 corners, and that's been running right the way through from 1963. So there you see there we go. That's the track map that you see, and that's actually not too dissimilar. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm seeing as well. So we are on the well, effectively on the road course, aren't we? So yeah, I mean, that's going to be pretty crucial for you guys and girls at home who are watching on the Racer Nexus network. So if you are watching along, I know that Michael Brock's good lady Jen will be watching, and hopefully she won't be screaming at him that he's going to be sleeping on the couch tonight. Obviously, last time out at Watkins Glen didn't quite go his way because he was out early, as in the Ford Mustang that he decided to pilot with that wonderful livery that he had on it, got a little bit ruined, and then he had to return to garage. But yeah, Portimao, 2 broadcasts in a row on iRacing. One for, as we've got more people going off, that's Kyle Mavis, the current Mid-Pack Larry's leader. Joe Mayer there in the 000 Mustang. Kyle's got the wipers going and he's having to wait, and then as you can see, it's slipperier than an NHL ice rink out there at the moment, whilst trying to get the traction down to get the car pointed in the right way. But Derek Tyndall, who's changed from Mustang to Mercedes for this week, has put in the fastest lap time in this qualifying session. We have hit 0 on the timer after 10 minutes, but Derek Tyndall put in 1 lap, and that was all he needed to put himself top of the pop, so to speak. 1 minute 37.082. We've got several drivers that have been trying to put down a lap. Dan Corrido hasn't put down a lap. James Dean, Harrison Mealy has had track times disallowed. Roman Bykov has just gone in with the 11th fastest lap in that session. But my goodness, it really... They do say that when the rain comes along, it definitely does provide a little bit of spice to the mix, as we saw in our other broadcast, which was the Autobahn Sports Car Challenge at Portimao. And now here for Apex this GT4 Tuesdays, we've got rain at Mid-Ohio. Thank you, Lexington. Thank you for the warm welcome.
Yeah, we're looking at this. Kevin, I want to get back and see that livery of Kevin Zoo when he gets going here again. The My Little Mustang paint job on that Ford Mustang, kind of like take off on the My Little Pony. We'll have to check that when it comes out. So, but Lemke with a good time right there, moves himself up into second. Michael Brock was looking pretty good in that second position, but Lemke's going to take over. So Lemke has been very consistent all season, up in the podium the first 3 races, and let's see if he can get himself his win here tonight.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is Brian Lemke has been Mr. Consistency of the series, and he's still sticking with the BMW. He seems comfortable with that car, as the Sky Lounge Motorsports driver. New recruit, the man from Puerto Rico, Raul Iriarte, has in the number 79 Porsche Cayman 718 GT4. He's now on lap number 7. The session has yet to time out. So both he and Andrew McMurray are the only drivers out on circuit at the moment. No lap time set by Kelly Greenhoe, Zach Peterson, Harrison Mealy, James Dean, and Dan Corrido. They have not set lap times. And I think maybe they just decided to err on the side of caution here, Chris, by deciding, well, we'll wait until the madness in front of us happens and see how we can work our way through the field, because we've seen it in a couple of locations and the rain is still falling. Just to give you an idea on the weather, thanks to our wonderful graphics, which should be up momentarily, 71 degrees Fahrenheit with regard, or 72 degrees Fahrenheit, 22 degrees Celsius air temperature, 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 21 degrees centigrade track conditions, humidity 78%. And whenever rain falls here, Chris, track temperature always is the first to drop.
Yeah, temperature. Normally, you want the temperature to drop. It's going to give you a little better grip with the tires, but combination of the temperature dropping and the rain is not going to make that the case here today. You can see the water building up right there on the outside of the corner. So we're going to have to get a pace lap going here. Maybe Yeah, it's still windshield wipers on, so it's definitely still coming down out there. We'll take a look from inside the car here. Oh, definitely, you can see the raindrops still coming down through the windscreen right there. So, gonna be a fun race here at Mid-Ohio. We're gonna see who can hang on.
Yeah, there's the Porsche pace car ready to lead the field around this particular circuit. 2.258 miles, that's just over 3.6 kilometers clockwise in direction. And it is going to be the case of who is going to be the best of the pros, who's going to be the best of the mid-pack Larrys. And, well, looking at this, Justin Atchison and Mike Bond are the quickest of the mid-pack Larrys, 4th and 5th respectively. We'll go through our usual graphics on the grid very, very shortly as the lights now are being signalled onto the gantry, and then Barney has probably got his dungarees and his wellies on at the moment because he'll be waving them to green very, very soon. But it is time to take you through the starting grid. On the front row of the grid, on pole, Derek Tyndall and Brian Lemke will be on the front row. Michael Brock and Justin Atchison round out row 2. Row 3, it's Mike Bond and Raul Iriarte. Row 4, it's going to be it's going to be Joseph Mayer and John Cooper. And then completing the top 10, Kevin Xu from St. Kitts and Thomas Lathrop, who made his welcome debut to the series last week. Round out your top 10, Andrew McMurray and Roman Bykov round out row 6. Row 7, Brian Zinn and Russell Abraham. And row 8 will be Spencer Beaudoin and Kyle Mavis. Mavis, the current mid-pack Larry's series leader. Kent Kruger and Dylan Foster round out row 9. And then we go to the last 2 cars, Conor Menard and Jesse Meager, that will round out your overall top 20. Oz Escalou and Christopher Diaz round out an all-Mercedes row 11. Then Russell Elizondo and Kelly Greenhoe round out row 12. Row 13, Harrison Mealy and James Dean. And then Dan Carrito and Zach Peterson due to start on the 14th and final row of the grid. 28 cars set to go into battle, but we've got 26 on the grid. The lights are out on the pace car, so very shortly as the pace car accelerates away from Derek Tyndall, Tyndall might have the opportunity to get away rather quickly from Brian Lemke this particular occasion. But with the rain still falling, there is standing water puddle, there are rooster tails around the circuit here, based in Lexington, Ohio, and again another one that's part of the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship family. Norris IMSA gets underway with the Raw Before the 24 very soon, and then the Rolex 24 will bring 2026 into full prominence. Looking forward to see how the series gets on. But Derek Tyndall with a lovely Mercedes F1 tribute livery band there as we go into green for round number 4 of Apex this GT4 Tuesdays. Derek Tyndall in the Mercedes leads us to green here at Mid-Ohio, and it's the run into the sweeper at left-hander, and that is going to be a few cars having a drama. Andrew McMurray being one of them. His front end was straight into the barriers and he's straight to the pits. Russell Abraham has spun out. Dan Carrito and Zach Pedersen has not yet left I don't think have joined the field, but Derek Tyndall leads the way. But Raul Iriarte, the man from Puerto Rico, has just jumped up 4 spots on the launch off the line and has got through on Brian Lemke, who's struggling a little bit in the BMW early doors. But with the amount of rooster tail spray we've got going on here, Chris, it's not easy to see out there.
No, it's definitely not. You can see right here from Rose, looking through the windshield, looking up at Tyndall. One of the straightaways, a lot of spray coming up right there, just making it very difficult. And you can see the water building up on the corners right here. This is going to be a challenge throughout this entire race. I don't think this race is going to stop. I think we're going to see it for the entire 45 minutes.
Yeah, well, we did have a 60-minute encounter at Portimao last night, which had GTP, LMP2 and GTDs on circuit, and that was completely saturated. James Dean is all the way down in 23rd position as Dylan Foster has a moment, and that's where we saw Kyle Mavis parked a little bit earlier on. But Brian Lemke now has got through on Derek Tyndall, so the change for the race leaders happened. So Lemke's got the skip back in his step, and Justin Atchison leading the mid-pack Larrys. Mike Bond has been passed by the Mustang and Kevin Zhu. Kevin has now got through on Atchison, but they're now wheel to wheel, side by side as they come through out of the carousel and down into the left-hand round of turn number 13, and across the stripe they go to complete the opening lap. And now Brian Lemke is starting to stretch the legs on the BMW M4 GT4, and there are battles here or there. And Roman Bykov dives up the inside of Mike Bond at turn number 1. That was a great move from the Aston Martin. Then Mike Bond as Bykov's around. Oh, that's not what the Aston Martin wanted to do that. Loving the Union Jack on the top of the roof, by the way, by the 013. But a moment of a slight mistake, a bit of over-rotation there. But this is where we're seeing a lot of drivers getting caught out. There's John Cooper versus Ken Kruger. Ken's got a new paint job for this week. So looks very much green and very, very much sort of like combat fatigue style, green and yellow on the front of that car with a little bit of black at the end of it. We're riding on board on the front splitter cam of the number 79 Porsche of Raul Iriarte from Puerto Rico, trying to get past Derek Tyndall, the Mercedes AMG F1 tribute band at the moment with the livery he's got on that Mercedes AMG GT4 at the minute. But that's someone else has gone off in the background. Chris Diaz has gone off. Harrison Mealy has just gone off. There are cars swirling here, there and everywhere. It's a bit like Skittles on an ice rink at the minute. And there is Harrison Mealy in the number 16 Porsche rejoining. Hopefully there's not too much damage, as Spencer Beaudoin in the 010 from Canada has also dropped the car off the circuit. So it's not proving to be easy. Here's the replay of Michael Brock. Oh dear, Michael, please don't tell me you've had a drama as well. But this is, well, you can see here Roman Bykov is behind him. There's a couple of cars going off in front, and this might be the moment where, oh, Michael, over rotation. I think maybe just a little bit too early on the gas pedal, and it spins the 421 around. So, yeah, it's not been an easy one for a lot of people, Michael Brock included, and he's dropped 18 spots. He's down in 21st at the moment. So, they do say the rain is the great equaliser. And perfect. And just on cue, this good lady Jen has come in and gone, oh, yucky weather. Hello, Jen. Good evening.
We got Jen, or she's in the route for Michael one more time, but unfortunately Michael, a little mistake there, is going to fall down. He's qualified in third, so he is down 18 spots in 21st. So unfortunate right there, but hopefully he can make it back up. And you know, the thing about in the weather like this, just as fast as you fall down, as you can climb back to the front. If you can just get a grip on this racetrack and get some rhythm going, you can make your way back up through the field.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Kevin Zhu from St. Kitts and Nevis doing a really, really good job. He's moved up 6 positions and he's now running P3 in the Mustang. Michael now gets through on Conor Menard, and that is now a change for 20th position. So Michael has got a little bit of time to try and find, and he's closing up quite quickly on Chris Diaz. Kevin Zhu to the outside of Derek Tyndall. That's brave in the Mustang in these weather conditions, and he's still keeping it pinned to the outside as they come through turn 12 at the carousel, through at 13, and across the stripe they go. We're on lap 3 already. We're already through the first 5 minutes of this 45-minute encounter. Raul Iriarte goes exit stage right and off the circuit at turn 1 through the gravel. Keep the rear tyres rotating, please, Raul. There he goes. Right, well, that was... they do say that you can go from 0 to 0, and he rejoins in front of John Cooper. Oh, my goodness me. That was a bit of a bad rejoin there. I think he could have maybe just held on the brakes on the grass and just waited, or maybe just decided to pull left. Well, he was trying to go left. He should have kept to the right on that circuit.
Yeah, the rain is not only challenging for our drivers, but it's challenging for the producer to try to catch all the action that's going on out there. We've got cars everywhere, and you can just see how challenging it is. Drivers off in the grass, and you know, we watched 3 weeks of this series, and these are some of the better drivers you're going to see in this class. And who was that?
Oh no, that was John Cooper. Oh, he's also gone through the kitty litter, the Canadian. So 2 Porsches at 2 points on the circuit have both gone through the kitty litter. First of all, Raul Iriarte, we've got Dylan Foster here over-rotating in the BMW, the 818. Dylan's had a bit of a race to forget, and oh dear, he's He was trying to do a donut there, trying to rotate the car back in the right direction. But unfortunately, his Travis Pastrana Nitro Circus audition didn't quite go to plan. Nevertheless, Brian Lemke starting to open up the lead. Kevin Xu trying to get through, and he's gone to the outside again of Derek Tyndall. And looking at and look at the livery, My Little Mustang, a take on My Little Pony by the man from St Kitts and Nevis, and he's got through on Tyndall for P2 coming out of turn 13 from the carousel. And look at the amount of wheel work Kevin Xu is having to do behind the wheel of the 243. It's about a second behind Brian Lemke, but is closing that gap quickly. So perfect, Jen. Mario Kart shortcut. You know what, Jen? We might have to bring in the red, the green, the blue shells, the invincibility star, and the banana skins. Well, we don't need the banana skins because that is basically the whole track itself.
Yeah, it's like Mario Kart just invaded the whole racetrack here in Mid-Ohio. It is very slippery out there. Even with these wet tires on these cars, you can see just how much of a struggle it is as we look at Bykov on the outside. Kruger right there trying to make a pass. He is going to make it work here. And I like that kind of matte gray color livery on Bykov's car. That's pretty sharp.
Oh, we've had problems. Derek Tyndall has gone off, but Justin Atchison in the Aston Martin has dropped significantly. Ken Kruger's gone off. Spencer Baudouin's gone off. Oh my goodness me! It's like Skittles. It's like Skittles at the bowling alley at the minute. And Derek Tyndall has got Mike Bond, who's switched to the Mustang for this round. Spencer Baudouin's got damage, so mechanical black flag for the Canadian. He's going to have to return to garage, which he does now. Andrew McMurray is already out, so let's have a look at the replay here for Spencer. And this is not going to. Oh, he's trying to go up the inside of Oz Esquilou. And he's got Kent Kruger in front of him. Oh no, he's unsighted and he's hit Kent up the back bumper and he's gone spiraling to the barrier, bang, and the Mustang takes a big old hit. Kent Kruger
I gotta watch
was luckily. I know, like literally, this is how much visibility Kent Kruger has got. He knows that Oz Esquilou is in front of him. He goes to the right-hand side. He can just about make out the rain light and then bang. Kent Kruger was so lucky he did not go off into the barrier as well.
Hard hit from Spencer right there. Then you could see just how difficult that was visibility-wise. He just barely saw the lights on the back of Kruger's car just at the last second. Just couldn't get checked up. Unfortunately.
Meantime, we've got a new race leader, Kevin Xu, in My Little Mustang, has now gotten to the front end of the field and is starting to pull away from Mr. Consistency, Brian Lemke. The gap now 1.2 seconds. So the man from St Kitts and Nevis has gotten through on our championship leader. And oh no, who's that? Brian Sin? No. Oh, we got air.
Big
He
off.
got air. Oi. That's another one. So we're going to have a look here. So he's trying to chase down Mike Bond. He's got the likes of Derek Tyndall, who's in the Mercedes this time around. We normally would see, oh no, Brian's just lost it on his own. And then here we go. He's going to be, you're so close to taking out Mike Bond over the curbing. The car catches air. There you go, over the grass verge, through the gravel, and he's a passenger, and then bang. Left front hits the barriers, front bumper goes off. That's it. Brian's in pit lane, I'm afraid.
Who is going to be the last one standing? That might just be like a good old American demolition derby. The last car out there is going to win this race right now. But a lot of I can't even keep up with all the off tracks we've had. We've had multiple just in the last lap. Probably almost a dozen on my screen. But
well, at the moment, I can see the following drivers have retired. Brian's in, Justin Aitchison. Spencer Baudouin has been in the pit lane for nearly 2.5 minutes repairing the damage to the Mustang. Andrew McMurray, who's turned around coming out of turn 13 on the start-finish stretch when we went green. That was 11 minutes ago. He was out on the very, very first lap. And there's Roman Bykov struggling with traction. He caught the grass alongside Joe Mayer, who's got through on the inside of the 013 Aston Martin. Now, this is the battle for P8 overall. Mike Bond, who is the leading mid-pack Larry, he's P3, and he's 2.7 seconds behind Pro Series, the series leader in the Pro Division, Brian Lemke, whereas Kevin Xu has gotten away, and he's 2.7 seconds up the road. Roman Bykov, what are you doing? Oh, he went right. He nearly went into the... I think he just clipped the back right of John Cooper went off the circuit, and now he's got a black flag for track limit infringements and incident points. And I think, yeah, there's some damage to the right front of that Aston Martin. Oh dear. Kevin Shu's gone off the track and he's lost the lead. So my little Mustang has not cleared the hurdle, I'm afraid, and he's gone off the circuit and he's hit. He's gone into P6. So here is Roman Bykov returning to the circuit in the 013 Aston Martin. He's got a black flag penalty. He's got a serve, but Kevin Shu is now being caught and nearly being passed by John Cooper. So man from St Kitts and Nevis has got the lead. He's lost the lead. He's down to P6. We're going to have a replay here. So this is going to be a case of going down the dip into the right-hander, and it's just going to be aquaplane central here. I would understand. He's going to turn it in, rotates the car, too much steering angle, understeers into the gravel, manages to light up the rear tyres to keep the car from digging in. And he was very, very lucky. That car does not, well, he reverses the car back, so that loses him even more time. He manages to point it in the right direction. There you see the likes of Thomas Lathrop, who's up 6 spots, qualified P10 on the outside of row 5, now 4th, ahead of Raul Iriarte. And Jen's been the most vocal, which is the only person that's been messaging in chat saying, I love that Roman's got the Coors livery back. The Coors Light livery, yeah. I do have to say that does look pretty good, but you can see here Roman's right behind Ken Kruger, and you can see that all the GT4 cars, by regulation, have to have a visible rain light, and so the middle brake light on the tailgate of the BMW M4 will flash away, and that's what we saw Spencer Baudouin not being able to see.
Michael Brock here fell all the way back to about 22nd. He's made his way back up to 11.
I've just seen it. Now, did I just see a car go off in the background? I think I did, or someone went spinning a little bit. Probably Jesse Meager, maybe. No, Harrison Mealy's gone off again. But yeah, Michael has made a resurgence. He is now up to 11th position. So this is Harrison Mealy. Oh dear, Harrison, what have you done now? And he's one of our mid-pack Larry drivers. So he's under braking. Car's just understeering. Yeah, car's just understeering to the left. It's just not wanting to turn right. You know, you put the brakes down, you try and rotate the car, but it understeers the wet because of the aquaplaning. And Jen was just saying, no, I just assume he's under a DUI by the way he drives, referring to Roman and the Coors Light livery. So for those Brits that are up at this time in the morning, if you don't know what a DUI is, driving under the influence.
That's the same thing over here.
Oh, no. Yeah. That's the term. Yeah, we call it for police stops you and you're over the drink driving. It's called driving under the influence. Oh, Michael has a wiggle. Michael. Oh, he was so lucky.
We're just gonna watch replays. Here's Dylan Foster.
Oh, he's done it again. Same place. And just seen in the Discord for the GT4 Tuesday, Andrew McMurray hot trash by me again, and then tags Russ Abraham at the same point. Oh dear, that's probably what happened on that one. Coming out of the carousel at turn 13.
Kevin Zhu trying to make his way back up through here. He's going to look around, try to get around Thomas Lathrop, but has to settle back in. So after that off, Kevin had made his way to the lead now. Fell back to about 6th or 7th now. He's trying to get back up around in the top 3, so we'll see if he can keep this momentum going.
Yeah, we just got to be careful. I mean, there was a little bit of a wiggle from the back end of that Mustang.
That Mustang's got to be a handful.
At the moment. Yeah, exactly, with that amount of power going through the rear axle. And Thomas Lathrop trying to get through on Derek Tyndall, the Mercedes-AMG F1 tribute band for tonight in the 042 Mercedes-Benz. Brian Lemke now 10 seconds up the road. And Lathrop looking for a move up the inside if he can, if there's a right-hander coming up, which there will be here now. And Lathrop to the inside. Tyndall covers him off. Kevin Zhu in the rooster tail spray of the pair of them, and this is exactly the place where I think where we saw Spencer Beaudoin go into the back of Ken Kruger early doors. But again, it's just about finding that grip and finding, as you said, Chris, at the top of the show, finding that rhythm.
Yeah, it's all about rhythm through this section of the racetrack. Because once you get off of the last corner here through 16, you're going to get a lot more speed. But this whole section right here is just being smooth, not making any mistakes. Even if it's dry, it's hand. Oh, there's going to go around Lathrop.
Oh no, Lathrop!
And that's exactly what we're talking about. I mean, even in the dry conditions, this part of this section of the track is tricky. In this wet conditions, you can see we've had so many options in this track. I don't think I can even keep up with them. And it looks like maybe Bykov might have had another shoot. Take a look at that real quick.
Oh dear, Roman's not in any. Oh, he's turning right. It's understeering, and then it oversteers, and then he's trying to catch the slide. And oh, don't park it. No, sorry, you can't park there, mate.
And he's kind of stuck there. And he's got a back. Yeah, he's got a reverse trying to get out of. Yeah, that's not a good place to be.
Yeah, and now Kevin Shue has got Mike Bond closing in. Mike Bond leading the mid-pack Larrys at the moment. We do have, at the minute, 22 cars still running out of 26 that actually made it to the starting grid. Kevin Shue finding the grip to the outside of Derek Tyndall. Now, can he get the overspeed in the Mustang? He's made it work, but no, he clips the left rear on the wet grass. The My Little Mustang has a little bit of a wobble on the back end, but he's still keeping to the outside. He's going to go a little bit later on, a little bit deeper on the brakes, but then Derek Tyndall goes, okay, right, you try that. I'll keep to the racing line and keep myself in there, but Kevin Shue has other ideas, round to the outside, and then Derek Tyndall through the next left-hander down the hill they go. They nearly clash a little bit, and more to the point, well, the air temperature has dropped. It looks like it's gotten a little bit brighter out there, so if we do see that the track temperature increases, the humidity might have gone up ever so slightly, but it's looking a lot clearer, as that's John Cooper, and I think he's spun it. Yes, he has. So track and air temperature exactly the same, 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 21 degrees Celsius. Humidity has gone up by 2%, which means that there may be a little bit of possibility that if there is some brightness around the circuit, that means that the sun might come up and help with the, you can see there, John Cooper, left rear wheel on the grass, and that was it, all she wrote in the 77 from Skylounge Motorsports. Unfortunately, rotates the car around. Meantime, Conor Menard, oh, he's going to be using the escape road here. No, he's dived into the pits. I think, that's the entry to pit lane, if I remember correctly. John Cooper has decided to get out of the way and get into the pit lane after that moment. So Brian Lemke at the moment has a 12.9 second lead, make that 13 seconds as we are at the 25.5-minute mark. Let's run you through the top three as it stands for both classes. Brian Lemke leads the race overall as we are now on lap number 12. He's ahead of Kevin Shue with My Little Mustang in P2. Derek Tyndall in the Mercedes-AMG F1 tribute livery band there in the 042. Mercedes rounds out your top three in the Pro. Mike Bond leads the midfield Larrys in fourth overall and is 4 tenths behind him. Christopher Diaz in the 213 Mercedes-Benz rounds out second in the mid-pack Larrys, and the class leader in the standings points, Carl Mavis, rounds out your top three in the mid-pack Larrys, 17th overall. But still, that's a good amount of points that he will have. Jesse Meager rounds out your top 10 overall, and he's closing in on Ken Kruger, who has got no rear bumper to speak of, and that's not really hindering him, even though he did get a big old wallop up the rear by Spencer Beaudoin a little bit earlier on, who was still in pit lane, 12 minutes and 15 seconds. I don't think Spencer will be coming back into this race anytime soon as we ride on with Michael Brock, who is now up to 10th position. A great recovery drive after having that early spin. As Derek Tyndall is the first of the main leading group to actually hit in the 042 Mustang, Mercedes. It's quite early in the morning. It's just coming up to 2:30 in the morning here in the United Kingdom. Raul Iriarte, our man from Puerto Rico, new recruit for this week, has just received a black flag penalty. So that is going to be a penalty for him as someone goes off. That's Joe Mayer in the 000 Mustang. He's just gone off the circuit. So Code Brown clean up on aisle 3 for the 000. And that means as Thomas Lathrop has got through. That was a bit of an uncharacteristic mistake from Joe Mayer, but with these wet weather conditions, it has not been a good one. I have seen that Brian's in saying, let's never do that combination again. That really sucked. Well, Brian, oh dear, Kevin Shu's just gone off, but manages to keep it on the black stuff and keep it pointing the right way. So it's all about just, it's like, say, wearing non-grippy trainers on snow, as it has been here in the east of England and the UK over the last 48 hours. Roman Bykov coming to blows with Jesse Meager, and Jesse got a little bit of a touch up the rear, and the back end's gone around. No. Mike Bond's gone off. Jesse Meager's gone off. Oh my goodness, it's Skittles again, and Roman Bykov. It looks like the back end's wanting to get really loose. It's like it's more like a NASCAR rather than a GT4 than Aston Martin at the moment, because it seems like every time he applies the power, the back end wants to go one way, and then he gets through on Derek Tyndall. So Jesse Meager has got a mechanical black flag, so we'll have to return to pit lane. And we've got just over, oh dear, Dylan Foster has just put it in the gravel again. Oh dear, it's not been a good one for the 818 BMW, I'm afraid.
Same corner
Don't
again.
tell me. Same corner. They do say that third time's a charm, but for Dylan Foster, it has been anything but that, I'm afraid, in the 818 BMW M4. I'm sorry, Dylan, but it's just like seeing, and this is Jesse Meager. Oh no, that's going to be a hard hit. That's going to be a hard hit, because he did get a mechanic. Oh,
that was quite some error.
Shades of Knight Rider and turbo boost there. Jesse Meager got proper air. He was at least 10 feet off the ground.
I gotta watch that again.
Yeah. So look, he's carrying speed. He must be doing at least 100 miles an hour. He narrowly misses Kent Kruger, and then bang over the verge. It's like I just got the Glenn A. Larson theme tune in my head now. You know, turbo boost. That's God, reminds me of my childhood seeing jumps like that, but not in a GT4 car. No.
Yeah, look at Michael Bond carrying the mid-pack Larry's, and he's got some damage on that left front of that Mustang. But he's running a really good race. He's not only leading in mid-pack Larry's, but he's also third overall right now. He's got Oz Escalade right there behind him.
Oz Escalade has been like a silent ninja assassin in the 911 Mercedes-Benz. Now, Oz, along with Brian, is one of a handful of drivers that have actually kept with the same car from this season on December 16th at Michelin Raceway Road, Atlanta. So Oz has made up 17 positions. Now, you know, I mentioned a few drivers that didn't do qualifying laps. Kelly Greenhoe, he's made up 13 places. Started 24th. Oh dear, what's Michael done this time? We've got a slow-mo replay, and that car is understeering like nobody's business. Don't tell me he's going to clip the dirt and the grass. Yep, and then as he hits the DRS detection zone, there she goes. Oh no. And I'm sure that the air is blue where Jen is currently right now. Bless her.
Well, it's probably pitch black outside, but it's probably clear wherever they're at. No, frustrations out there, though. I understand where these guys are coming from. This is tough, and Lemke seems to really have a handle on this. Kevin Shu got up there in the second spot. I thought he might reel him in, but Brian's just stretching it out. It is almost a 19-second lead now for Brian Lemke.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, Lemke is just. He's just driving that BMW like he stole it. And the thing is that once you are in a car that you are very, very happy with, he's run it for 3 rounds, and he hasn't had a win. He's had second places all across the board. So I think it'll be, look at the amount of gravel that's been thrown on the circuit at that point. It's incredible. And that is that's coming through Thunder Valley, I believe. As they go up the hill through the last few corners. Oh dear, no, that was not what Raul Iriarte wanted to do there, as Roman Bykov gets a bit of Tokyo drift going on in the Aston Martin as they go up the banking. And again, it's, as you said, Chris, it's just trying to make sure that you can make the best of any kind of situation. And if you find the grip on the outside line, like we've seen with Kevin Shu at times, going through into turn 4, as we're now going to see a moment here for Derek Tyndall. He's rotated the car, and that is the Dylan Foster rotation zone, I would now call it, if you want it sponsored. So again, it's just catching people out. Harrison Mealy's just got a black flag penalty that he's going to have to serve. But the thing is that with regards to the fuel, now the thing is that fuel may vary, but could it be the case that with the fact that the drivers are I mean, looking at the lap times from Brian Lemke at the moment, 1:42.3, Kevin Shue 1:42.0, same with Mike Bond. Oz Eskelou in the Mercedes is running a 1:41.8 as the last lap. He was only 0.7 of a second off of his best lap. Michael Brock running at a 1:45.2. Derek Tyndall 1:49.5, including that slight rotation. So I'm wondering, because we haven't seen many people pit. Harrison Meany has had to pit. Jesse Meagher's gone off the circuit again. He's pitted on lap 13 and spent 2 minutes in pit road, as we see Roman Bykov dive to the inside of Raul Iriarte. This is the battle for P7 on the road. It's just me. I'm wondering whether we are going to see any drivers pit for fuel. That is going to be quite crucial here.
It's possible. I was thinking the same thing. You kind of took the words right out of my mouth. It's possible the lap times are slow enough that they can stretch us all the way to the end. We've got 7. Oh, Bowman just almost got the back of Raul right there, but checked up. Yeah, it's possible. Alex, it just might happen. So we're 16 minutes left to go here. Let's see if anybody has to stop.
That's going to be the big $64,000 question that needs to be answered. Are drivers going to have to pit for fuel? Roman Bykov, how on earth are you keeping that Aston Martin on the circuit? He was sideways and then some coming through that left-hander, and now he's nearly he's having to check up again behind Raul Iriarte, and they're about 9.9 seconds behind Joe Mayer in the 000 Mustang. But at the minute, the way things are standing, Brian Lemke leads the way. He's not got the fastest lap of the race. That's Kevin Shue, who in these wet conditions, folks, did a 1:40.4 around the circuit here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. So he's really, really rocking it. Mike Bond has just got a black flag. Oh, well, that's not going to help him at all. Well, it's going to help him, but how hard is that going to hurt him with regards to the differential between him as Roman Bykov and Raul Iriarte swap places again? It's like a musical chairs game between these two, between the Aston Martin and the Porsche as things stand. So Mike Bond is going to have to serve a drive-through, he's going to have to serve a black flag penalty. Oz Eskelou has pitted, so we are going to get to that window. Thomas Lathrop has decided to pit. Mike Bond's going to have to pit for the black flag penalty first and then come in. So Brian Lemke at the moment, because he's running in clear air, he's not having to try and force his way around people. I'm seeing others going in. Dylan Foster is in. Well, Dylan Foster's got damage, it looks like. Russell Elizondo is in the pit lane. So I would imagine that, well, Russell Elizondo might have sped coming into pit lane. Here's Chris Diaz. Oh, and it's the Dylan Foster rotation zone. Sorry, Dylan, you're at the butt end of that joke, I'm afraid, buddy, because you spun there 3 times. So we're seeing a lot of people getting caught out by over-rotation. So Brian Lemke really at the minute is doing himself every single favour in the world, because he's got a 15.3 second advantage over Kevin Shue, Joseph Mayer. Looks like Mike Bond has served his black flag penalty, as there goes Roman Bykov steaming through. That was on Jesse Meagher, and there's Raul Iriarte trying to close in on him. Kyle Mavis pits from 14th overall. Chris Diaz now retakes that position, stays second in the mid-pack Larrys. So Chris Diaz 12.5 seconds. Kyle Mavis slightly less fuel required for the number 64 Mustang, 10.23. And Jesse Meagher's just gone off the circuit again. Jesse, I mean, you have to look at people like, say, Dylan Foster, Jesse Meagher, quite a few people that have had a lot of big dramas. So Jesse was in there for probably the best part of nearly 2 minutes, and he was the one that we saw doing the Knight Rider turbo boost side of things, and he's trying to break the car's understeering, and that is going to, if he goes back onto that circuit, that's going to start rotating in the wrong direction. Well, he basically, that was just an off track. So Raul Iriarte and Roman Bykov pit at the same time. And Kevin Chu in My Little Mustang. I like the fact that he's taken a play on a children's cartoon, because I still remember when my sister was a big fan of My Little Pony. You couldn't, in her room, you couldn't see you couldn't see anything apart from My Little Ponies here, there, and everywhere. From plushy cuddly toys to the little figurines to the books. And I was just like thinking, whenever it's her turn to watch television, and this is back in the days of VHS, folks. You know what I'm talking about, Chris.
No idea.
You know, oh come on, man. Back in the days of Betamax and VHS, when you still could go to a video rental store and go and rent a tape for the weekend. Yeah, whenever she got her chance to watch TV, it was always get the VHS tape, the VHS recorder out, put the tape in it, and it was always My Little Pony. And I was just like, and this is like when she was like 5, bless her. But Brian Lemke now in, Kevin Zhu now in, so we are seeing pit stops with Kevin Zhu very close to nearly having an altercation with the wall. Coming into pit lane, Joe Mayer, just keep it nice and easy. Coming into pit lane, Mike Bond is still out there, still leads the mid-pack Larrys, and he now comes in. And well, Thomas Lathrop is going to inherit the race lead as a result of this. Brian Lemke already out. Kevin Zhu should be coming out now. So Thomas Lathrop comes through, and Oz Esquilou has done a really good job as well. The number 911 Mercedes-Benz, he's now back up into 4th position. Don't forget, this man started on the inside of row number 11. And so sterling job by the man from the USA. So Oz doing a stellar job for the brand with the 3-pointed star. Michael Brock, as we now see him back out in 12th position at the minute, trying to close in on Kelly Greenhoe, but the gap is 39 seconds or so. Well, it's closing because Kelly Greenhoe, Jesse Meek has gone off again. Oh dear, Jesse, what on earth is going on, buddy? The 172 Porsche. Okay, because I saw him go, like, literally, there's Kevin Zhu, there's Jesse Meager, and this is just going to be complaining through a puddle, or is that going to be touching the right rear wheel on the grass? And oh dear, here comes the barriers. Bang, left-hand side takes a massive whack, and that is Jesse Meager back into pit lane. Once again, the 172 has had an absolute nightmare out there at Mid-Ohio, and he's back in the pit lane. John Cooper has also been in the pits for over 90 seconds. Dylan Foster for over 6 minutes. Raul Iriarte, the Puerto Rican, has also just gone off the circuit, and he is dropping like a stone. He's managed to get the car going again, I think, but no, Raul Iriarte loses the car under turning, and he was so lucky that that car was not going backwards at speed, because that would have been straight off at the main the main zone of where we've seen a lot of drivers go backwards after turning into the right-hander. But Kent Kruger has now pitted on lap 20. Chris Diaz and Jesse Meager both picked up black flags, so it's not been an easy one for a lot of drivers out there. Mike Bond still leads the mid-pack Larrys. Oh, Kevin Zhu, stop rally crossing, please. Your name is not your name is not Scott Speed, I'm afraid, or Tanner Faust for that matter. So Kevin Zhu brings the gravel onto the circuit, and Oz Esquilou now takes P3. Thomas Lathrop is now up into P2, so A lot of changes afoot. There's Kelly Greenhoe, and he's made his way up 15 spots. Started 24th, now closing in on Derek Tyndall for 8th position. This could be position number 16 gained by the 012 Apex, that Porsche. Loving the livery on Kelly's car, by the way. A good mixture of yellow and blue. But Kelly just, you know, did a sense. I think those drivers, if I'm honest here, Chris, that decided not to qualify and go, right, let's just play the waiting game. And that's exactly what we've seen from Oz Escalou, from Kelly Greenhoe. They have done an absolutely sterling job, and they are both the biggest movers of the night.
Yeah, it seems to work out for these drivers. They kind of back there being patient, let some other people make some mistakes, and you know, we've made light of some of this stuff here. But these guys take this really serious, and I know it's a frustration out there as well. You know, they've worked really hard on this. We watch the Discord chat. We watch a lot of their practices and stuff like that. And these guys have been practicing all week for this race. So this rain I don't know if they were expecting this rain or not, but it's definitely thrown a challenge for these drivers. And a few have really stood up here and are grabbing it by the horns. But we've had a lot of issues here today. So I think this we got about 7 minutes left to go. I think we got a lot of drivers that are going to be happy when this one's over.
Yeah, they'll all be breathing a collective sigh of relief as Kelly Greenhoe to the outside of Derek Tyndall in the Mercedes, and he gets through. Great job by the 0112 Porsche, as Kevin Zhu quickly serves a slowdown penalty and has managed to get back through Oz Escalou after that rallycross attempt, which didn't quite go to plan. But look, Joe Mayer has now made it a 3-horse race, so to speak. So 2 Mustangs, Mercedes sandwiched in the middle.
Oh.
Joe Mayer has to check up on Oz Escalou there.
Sorry.
And sharply taken breath by my partner in crime, Mr. Murphy, as Joe Mayer nearly locks up the car completely and smashes into the back of the Mercedes, and that would not be, that would go down well. Like a bag of cold sick between Mayer and Escalou at that particular point, but Michael Brock trying to get through on Ken Kruger, and this is for P10 overall. More importantly, P9 in the Pro Division. Ken Kruger did repair the damage on the rear end of that BMW, so he has got a back bumper. Derek Tyndall, in the meantime, has just got a black flag penalty with 6 minutes to go, and that is disaster for the 042, who qualified on pole position for this race. So Derek Tyndall is going to have to make his way to the locality of the pit lane to serve his black flag penalty. So that is not going to pay him any dividends. In the meantime, so Derek Tyndall serves his drive, well, effectively what will be his pit lane penalty, and that will be effectively, if he doesn't go into his pit stall, it will be a drive-through, as Kyle Mavis now through on Chris Diaz, and that is for and that happened in the pit lane. So yeah, Derek Tyndall now on his marks in the pit box. He is going to be absolutely ruining the day that he didn't take complete advantage of the situation, and the person that did is the man that is leading the way, not just on the circuit, but in the points for the Apex this GT4 Tuesdays Pro Division. That is Brian Lemke in the 041. Going to have a replay here of Derek Tyndall. Oh no, it's the rotational zone that strikes again, and it's the 042 that rotates the car around and manages to hold on the brakes. Car comes to a stop. James Dean channels his inner Travis Pastrana and goes off the circuit. And that's more gravel being brought out onto the track by the 049 Porsche 718 Cayman. Kevin Zhu and Oz Escalou and Joseph Mayer, they are really starting to get their elbows out as they come across the stripe. Mayer goes a little bit wide with the right rear touching the outside curbing out of turn 13. But still, Oz Escalou is unfazed. He's still trying to go after Joseph Mayer, and you can see in the background the amount of spray, and that's also coming through Thunder Valley at turn 10 into 11 and then through into turns 12 and 13 in the carousel. But more to the point, with 4 minutes to go, Brian Lemke, the next time he crosses the line, which will probably be in the next 30 to 40 seconds, means we'll probably have this and 2 more laps remaining on the counter. So Lemke making his way around the circuit in the 041 Sky Lounge Motorsports BMW M4 GT4. So he's made pretty good time. So it will be 2 laps remaining after this. We're on lap 24 out of a predicted 26 lap encounter here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. A big thank you to everyone that's been watching here on Racing Nexus with myself, Alex Goldschmidt, and Chris Murphy. Now there was a Mercedes that did have, that's Chris Diaz, who's got no front bumper on that car. Harrison Mealy's gone off again in the 16 Porsche. Cool. You were right about saying people are going to need to breathe a big old sigh of relief after this one, but Michael Brock has got 3 minutes, or effectively 2 laps to go to try and get through on Ken Kruger for that 9th spot. So that will be a nice long recovery drive after what's been another tricky day in the office for the man in the 421 here, Chris.
I was just getting ready to say, I've been watching the lap times. Thomas Lathrop was the fastest car on the track. He ran about 2 seconds faster than anyone. It looks like Thomas off the track. Fall from 2nd down to 5th. Let's see if we can see what happened here to Thomas.
Oh, Mike Bond's gone a technical. Mechanical black flag. Oh, this is coming out of the final corner, and he's hit the front right, the front left's hit the barriers. Kyle Mavis has just got a black flag penalty, so he's got to have to serve that one. Oh dear, and that is going to be 30. That's going to be 30 seconds in the pit lane for Kyle, plus also the transfer time. Kevin Xu through that. Did you see that? Did you see that? That back end was stepping out more than Ford Gittin Jr. on a dry drift track. My goodness, he was wrestling with the back end of that car. That is severely loose. There has been dramas. Get this, Mike Bond in the 1-2-3 mid-pack Larry's Mustang has just got a mechanical black flag, so he has got damage on that car. Look at the front bumper, and that car is not exactly tracking true either. So Kyle Mavis is going to pit.
Yeah,
that could give. Yeah, so Mike Bond has got to get himself very quickly back to pit lane. So let's have a look. So this is going to be, so the front bumper looks all nice and cheery at the minute, and that wonderful bronze, orange and black livery. Oh, he loses the back end. It steps out, and there's the impact, left front. So it rips the bumper asunder, but even though iRacing has this wonderful magician's hat trick of bringing bumpers back onto cars, so Mike Bond has got to get that car into pit lane.
He might limp that around. He actually might limp that around for the next 40 seconds for the last lap. With that meatball. No. He's not going to chance it, because otherwise he would have actually that would have ended up in a penalty post race. But what is this going to do for him, more to the point, because this is his 2nd pit stop and the countdown is continuing. 30 seconds on the timer. Brian Lemke is still leading. So is he gonna? I don't think he's gonna make it. And at this point, I'm looking at what's going to happen between Mike Bond and Kyle Mavis. Now, Kyle Mavis is 0.8 of a mile behind Mike Bond, so Mavis has got to keep it on the black stuff. Mike Bond's probably got quite a bit of damage to that car. Look at the front end. It's absolutely, it needs some plastic surgery on that vehicle. And the way things are going, we are now at 45 minutes. So the big $64,000 question is Mike Bond going to get out in front of Kyle Mavis? The way things might be, it's going to be a no. Kevin Xu gets a black flag on the last lap of the race, but it's Brian Lemke that's going to come out of the final corner, and he wins 4 here at Mid-Ohio. Kevin Xu. Who was that? That was James Dean off the circuit. Kevin Xu, is he going to have to... The thing is that Kevin Xu can go into pit lane, but he's going to take the hits of the penalty post-race. He's going to come across the line in P2 on the road, but it will be Oz Escalou that will take P2 after that has changed. Joe Mayer will take P3, and, well, all I'm going to say is Mike Bond, I'm just wondering here. Is he going to win that from the pits?
No, don't tell me he's done a Michael Schumacher, please. No, I can't. Oh. If that is the case, that is the weirdest finish I have seen to a class victory. in my sim racing commentary career.
Yeah, I think because
Oh,
his pit box was behind the starting line, so as soon as Lemke came around, put him a lap down, the race was over. So that was the checkered flag for Bond. So that gave him the win. And Mavis's pit stop must have been behind him there or something. I'm not quite sure, but it looks like Bond is going to get the win there in the MPL.
okay. Well, we are still waiting for a few of our drivers to come across the line. Conor Menard and John Cooper. There's Michael Brock, who finished 8th in the end of it. So, well, all I can say is what a race we've had here on Race and X's for Apex this GT4 Tuesdays. Conor Menard and John Cooper do cross the line. They round out the top 15, but my, oh my, it was a masterclass by Brian Lemke in the wet here to take the victory in the 041 BMW M4 GT4 from Sky Lounge Motorsports. But if I'm still a bit perturbed. I could say peeved, but no, that's not the right way to be as a commentator, folks. I'm just a little bit perturbed that Mike Bond still got the victory over Carl Mavis in the mid-pack Larrys. Obviously, there may be further things that might develop post this race here at week 4. But more to the point, we need to start our post-race interview show. And without further ado, finally, the win is here. Winner of race 4 out of 12, Brian Lemke, welcome into the booth. Finally, Mr. Consistency picks up a victory at Mid-Ohio in the wet. You must be absolutely shattered after that.
Absolutely, man. That was a lot of fun. I loaded up a practice not too long ago, and it was like a monsoon. I said, "Oh, this is going to be too much rain. This isn't going to pay off." And it ended up being the exact same conditions we had tonight. I knew where all the big puddles were. I knew where all the
Mhm.
problem spots were. I knew where to kind of avoid, and just kept it clean. And that was all it took. Thankfully, that was difficult. I'm gonna sleep good tonight. I'm exhausted. I'm sweating, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, saturation in the sim rig, let alone saturation on the racetrack here in iRacing. But nevertheless, I mean, you're one of a handful of people, along with like the likes of Oz Escalou and a few others that have stuck with the same vehicle. I mean, the BMW has really become a weapon in your hands, and off the back of three successive runs to P2 at Road Atlanta, Monza, Watkins Glen, and now you take the win here at Mid Ohio. Finally, the freight train can start going a bit quicker when we go to Spa-Francorchamps next week, huh?
Yes, very excited. I've been trying some different cars, but yeah, I always kind of come back to this BMW. I was a little worried with all the rain. Maybe I picked the wrong car. I thought maybe the AMG would be good, maybe the Porsche. But thankfully, my BMW it did its thing and slid all over the place and pulled out a win. So it was a lot of fun. Looking forward to next week for sure.
I mean, Derek gave you a lot to think about early doors, didn't he?
He sure did, and I saw Kevin the whole time. He was right there, and I kind of lift to let him go by, and then they lost it in one of the puddles, and I was like, "Oh, this is just stay a nice consistent pace. I don't have to push too hard." And thankfully, it all worked out. But yeah, some of those guys, man, they are so fast in the rain. Not much I can do, but hope they have mistakes. And tonight, fortunately for me, they did. Probably not fortunate for them, but fortunate for me, they did.
Well, Brian, congratulations on the win. An absolute masterclass in the wet here at Mid Ohio. Before we let you go, anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, shout out to you guys, man. Been watching your broadcast. They've been fantastic. Really enjoying them. And Apex and all the drivers, all the guys that came out into the rain tonight. I know a lot of guys don't absolutely love it, and then they get done and they go, "That was a lot of fun." So I'm happy they stuck it out and got to enjoy some rain tonight. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Brilliant. Brian, thanks a lot for talking to us in the post-race interview show. We'll see you when we head to the iconic Spa-Francorchamps next week for week 5.
Yep. Ideally, I'll talk to you after all of these races. That'd be fantastic.
Brilliant. Look forward to seeing you then, and have a good weekend, buddy.
Have a good one, you too. Bye.
Big thank you there to Brian Lemke. Well, I think that's probably the quickest post-race interview show. So let's take you through the provisional results after week 4 here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Saturated by significant rainfall. Brian Lemke, who we just spoke to, took the win here after what was 26 laps in total by 20.8 seconds. As you can see, Kevin Zhu's post-race penalty has been applied, dropping My Little Mustang from second down to seventh. Oz Eskelou started in P21, finished second ahead of Joe Mayer, with it being three different manufacturers in the top three, BMW winning from Mercedes and from Ford. Roman Bykov flew the flag high and at times sideways for Aston Martin, rounding out your top five ahead of Thomas Lathrop. Kelly Greenhoe doing a great job starting from 24th position, making up 18 places to finish sixth ahead of Kevin Zhu. Michael Brock finished in eighth, having qualified third, dropped down to 21st, but a great recovery drive for the 421. Mike Bond has been confirmed as your mid-pack Larry's race winner ahead of Kyle Mavis, who continues to lead the standings. Chris Diaz rounds out the top 12 and also the top three for tonight's mid-pack Larry's division. Russell Abraham, Colin Menard and John Cooper ran at the top 15 ahead of Harrison Mealy, who was off the track quite a lot. James Dean, Derek Tyndall, Raul Iriarte, the Puerto Rican, who showed great promise, but then one wrong move and it went wrong for the number 79. Jesse Meager also had his fair share of dramas on the track, along with Russell Elizondo and Dylan Foster in the 818 BMW. Brian Zinn retired on lap 5, Justin Aitchison on lap 4, along with Spencer Boudoir, Andrew McMurray out on the opening lap, with Dan Carrido and Zach Peterson not even taking to the race start. Chris Murphy, one hell of a race here at Mid-Ohio, but you know what? Next week, we go to Spa-Francorchamps. It is going to be an absolute tall order when these drivers head to the home of the Crown Strike 24 Hours of Spa-Francorchamps next week.
It is going to be fantastic. Really looking forward to that. We go to Belgium and the weather can be questionable as well there. So are we going to see another rain event next Tuesday night with the Apex this series? I don't know. I don't think it topped tonight. Tonight was pretty exciting. I know, like I said earlier, some of these guys going to go home pretty frustrated with this. But I think, as Brian said, I think a lot of them ended up having a lot of fun out there too. So congrats to Brian on his first win of the season, and going to be an exciting next week at Spa.
Indeed. So, folks, thank you so much for joining us for live coverage of week 4 out of 12 for Apex this GT4 Tuesdays. Lemke shines amidst the rain at Mid-Ohio. And also Mike Bond takes the win in the mid-pack Larry's, bringing in another new winner to the Roll of Honor here this season. But more to the point, we go from Lexington, Ohio to the Ardennes Forest in western Belgium. The Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps will host week 5 of Apex this GT4 Tuesdays, and you can catch it same place, same time next week. You've been in the company of Alex Goldschmidt, joined by Chris Murphy. This has been a Race to Nexus production, and we look forward to seeing you all same place, same time next week. Until next time, race hard, race fair, and once for all, keep it pinned. We'll see you next time. Good night.